Hi, it's Kara from the Hooting Pirate, and I'm going to take you through a little tutorial on how to make a book like this using your Commit30 printable PDF planner. So I'm going to take you through how to put 2 pages into like a booklet like this, so that when you print them off, they're in the right order to make a booklet, and then how to put it together and give it a cover. So if you want to make a book like this, keep watching. So the first thing that you want to do is to select the pages that you're going to print. You could print the whole whole year, but it'd be pretty thick. So what I do is I go by quarters and I'll print 3 months at a time. So we're doing October, November, and December 2016. And I like to have since I want to have these 2 calendar pages facing, I'm going to use this one as the kind of like the front page, the front cover. So because the first page won't have a facing page, and then these ones will be facing, and everything else after that will be facing. So I'm not going to scroll down to find the end. I did that up before because I don't want to make you sick. But you can see up here, this is page 127. So we're going to go to print, and this will open. And so I want to go from 127, and then I've already worked out that it's going to be 64. And you want an even number of pages so that you have, well, if you don't, actually the back page will be blank, but this way I'll have I'll show you the back page will be this, and then they'll be facing. But to get them to face, you want to go under here, and it is layout, and then I think it's under board. No, it's not under border. It's under two-sided, and then you're going to go down and click booklet. Now, maybe you can figure this out, but I haven't been able to figure it out to get them to work as a booklet. For me, it's just going to end up putting the pages that I'd staple it here and have them flip that way. So instead, I'm going to show you another program that works better for me. So this is Booklet Creator, which is the little free, well, I use a free trial, which is all you need, because you can do 16 pages per book for free. So instead of just doing the whole booklet at once, I do it in stages. So I'm going to show you how to do that so that you can kind of get around having to pay for it, because I like to maybe cheat a little bit. So you want to do the pages, you're going to take the first 8 pages that you want to do, that you want to use, and the last 8 pages, because those are the ones that are going to be on the same actual physical sheets of paper. So you start with 127, and then you're going to go to the last 8, which is 157 to 164, right? 1, 2, yeah, okay. So those, oh, hold on, that didn't work. 127 to 134. Did I forget to put that? Sorry. Okay, so okay, 127 to 134. Those are your first 8 pages, and then 157 to 164. Those are your last 8 pages. Okay, and then you can just hit Create Booklet, and we're gonna call that. I'm just gonna call it October to December 2016. Sorry. You don't have to sit and watch me do this. And then 1, because we're going to do it in three different parts. And I did that already, so I'm just going to replace it. Okay, so that comes up. So let's just, let's just put that down out of the way. So that's done. And now I'm going to do it again because we're going to do it twice more. So that was the old one. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next 8. So we're going to do 135, because we stopped at 134, and we're going to go to 142. Okay, and then the next step is 149 to 156, because we left off at we started at 157. Okay, and we're going to create that booklet, and we're going to call this one October to December 2, and we will save that one. Okay, and then we have that one ready. And then the last one, we don't have 8 pages left. We only have 6. So we're just going to put in the 6 pages straight to 148. Stopped at 149. And then you're going to create that booklet. Again, October to December 3. They get shorter as I go along. Okay, and so there you go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open those up in my, I'm just going to open those up. Actually, I could probably show you that as well. So I'm going to open that up in my browser, and I'll show you how to print them. Here's a quick little tip for the Booklet Creator. If you want just to sort of figure out what pages you need to print. So if I wanted to print from 127 to 164, I would write out the first 8 pages, and then going backwards, I would write out the last 8, and then the next 8, and then backwards again. I guess the next last 8. You know what I mean? And then here I have, there's only 6 left, so I have 3, and then going this way 3. And you see that these will be the middle pages that you'll find when you open your book to the middle. And you'll see that there's only 6, so we don't have a multiple of 4. You'll see this in a second. There'll be a blank page, but I'll show you how to work around that. So we'll get there, and so hopefully this will help you when you're printing. Okay, here's my screen, and all I'm going to do is hit print, and I'm going to do 2-sided. Now it's putting me a scale to fit, which is fine. Copies per page 1, fine. Copies 1, and we're going to do all the pages. We're going to do each booklet. This is the first one, and I think it's paper handling. Sorry, I didn't check beforehand. All pages, but we're going to do double-sided, and I think that maybe it's not here. Let's see. Is it in layout? I don't know. Have to check. 2-sided. There we go. So long and edge binding, which would be like going from here, which is not the way we bind. We're doing this short edge binding to make sure that it goes that way. And we've got 8 sheets, so we're going to get 4 pieces of paper. So I'm going to go put some thicker, sturdier paper in my printer, and then I'm going to hit print, and that's all there is to it. And I'm going to do that 3 times because I've got the 3 different booklets. So I will meet you at the table when I've got everything ready to assemble. Okay, so now you should be at the point where you've printed out. If you've done it the way I like to do it, you've got 3 sets of things you've printed, or if you've bought the Booklet Creator, you've got 1, or if you did the booklet from your printer directly, then you'll have 1. But if you've done it the 3-part way like I showed you, then this is where you'll be. You'll have 3 sets, so you're going to want to put everything in order, and you're going to want to make sure that you've got like this way or this way, because it's it could go either. You don't know which is up and which is down, basically. Okay, so let's start. This is the 3rd one that I did, and because it would be the middle pages, so this actually works out so that we have Monday 14, Tuesday 15, Wednesday 16, Thursday 17, Friday 18. So this is a week. So this is the middle, so we know that's the very middle. And there's some. I want to talk about this blank page in a second, but for now we're going to see if this bundle of 4 or 5 sheets goes this way or this way. So here we have the November calendar. So what do we have on the back of this? The other half of the November calendar. So we know that they go together and not this way, because if you put it this way, we've got a December week and half of the November calendar. So that's just, that one was easy because it's either a month or a week. So we know that it goes together. Now, which way does this one go? So it can go Monday 17th of October, and then over here we have the Thursday the 8th, or it can go, we have this. So we're lucked out again that these don't line up, but these are probably going to line up. So you just double check. You've got 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, so we're good. And on the other side, you can check that as well. We've got Monday the 5th, Tuesday 6, Wednesday 7, Thursday 8, Friday 9. So we're good. And we're back to, these are the center pages, so this is going to be the top. And we're going to fold it after we sew, and this is going to be like the front of your book. So what I also like to do is to just quickly run through and make sure that I've got, okay, the October month, just to make sure everything is right. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13. Just, I'll go through the whole book just to make sure that it's all in the right order. And then when it is, and I cut everything together, I want to pick out a piece of pattern paper that I'm going to use for the cover. Now I've picked this one. This was in my Hip Kit Club kit for September, and I absolutely love it. It's Maggie Holmes, and they're such pretty birds. You will see the other side, but honestly not very much. So if you don't like it, you don't have to worry about it, but if you do like it, you're going to see both. Actually, I like this one because it's kind of like you've got a leather traveler's notebook, but it's actually paper. So, but we're going to use the birds as the front. And then just as a double check, you want to take your planner that you're going to put it in, your notebook that you're going to put it in, and make sure that the colors and the style sort of go together, because you're going to see them together. And if they're not like 100%, like these aren't the exact same colors, but it kind of jives together. And then you also want to look at the other inserts in your book, because they will be seen together. So just lay them together, see if they sort of match and jive and whatever. Yeah, so mine seems to be good. That actually looks really nice together. And so next, what you're going to do is to cut this down to whatever size paper. So I'm using A4 because I'm in Europe. But if you have 8.5 and 11, whatever it is, you're going to cut this paper down to the same size. So I'm just going to trim off a bit here and a bit here. Okay, and then I'm going to lay them all together. And then I'm going to show you a little trick. Take your top page. This is going to be your center page. It's going to be in the middle of your book. And you're just going to fold it directly in half. Just the top one. And then this crease is going to be your guide where you stitch. Now you can either make 4 holes. If you've taken my free class, which you can get at hootingpirate.com, at the top of the page, I have a little tutorial on how to do the 4 stitch binding, or you can go to your sewing machine and following this line, just stitch right up the middle. If this line is too light, because by folding in half, you automatically get the center. You don't have to measure. But even if it's too light, and you can't see with your sewing machine, you can take a ruler, line it up along this fold, and then just use a pencil and darken it. And then you want the pencil to be lighter than your thread color, because it's going to be hard to erase once you stitch over it. Okay, so I'm going to go stitch. So I won't bore you with my machine, and I'll be back with it stitched. Okay, so now we're back. I've got this all stitched up. I went with pink because I like pink. Why not? So we're just going to trim. That one's, I think, kind of got banged up in the back, so it's no big deal. I'll leave that one. So next, what I want you to do is to fold each page individually, just so that it's easier to open and close when the time comes. Because if you start folding it all like this, it's not gonna be straight along the spine. You're gonna get a fold that's sort of off center. So I'm just gonna fold up each page like this, fold it to one side, fold it to the other side. I'm just gonna do the whole book like this. We're gonna come back to this blank page. I didn't forget. So we're gonna go this way, and then we're going this way, and I'm just going to keep going until the book's done. I've actually done this ahead of time, so I won't bore you. And then when you get all the pages folded up, have a book that looks like this. See, I told you it was a little yucky, but that's okay. You're not going to see that. So now we have, because I didn't use regular computer paper. I used a thicker, I think it's 80. I don't know what it is in like pounds per inch or whatever it is, but in my grams, whatever, it's 80, I think. No, 80 is the normal. It's 120. Sorry, 120. So I always trim these off because they bother me. I don't like this. So all I do is, hold on. I try to take my trimmer without taking my whole house down in the process. Sorry. Okay, and then what I'll do is I will line it up, the edge of the book with the edge where I cut, and I'll hold down this part, and this part I will hold down. I'll line it up, and then I'll just run it back and forth a few times. I only want to cut a couple pages at once, because if I cut down too far, then they tend to cut crooked. So I'll just cut a few at a time, and then I'll take them off, and then I'll cut down a few more, and I'll take them off. And I'll just go really slow because I haven't ruined a few books, but I've come pretty close. It's been they just cut crooked, I find, because it's so thick, and so the fewer pages you cut through at a time, the straighter you'll get. And just keep going until you're done. Okay, I'm just going to skip ahead. I'll do that off camera side. Don't bore you. And then what I'd like to do is just round all the corners. So only go down a couple because the other ones aren't trimmed yet. And then I'll do all one side, and then I'll do all the other side. So that's it. Then you have a book that's all done. Now, before I go trim my trimmer away, I want to show you this one page. Now, it's because of the number of pages that we did. It wasn't a multiple of 4. It was a multiple of 2, but we have this extra page. And you can see that here it's Monday 21, Tuesday 22, 23, 24. So they line up, but we've got this extra page. Now, sometimes I leave it in. This might be a good idea because it's going to be a busy, getting close to Christmas type thing. But what I usually do is I will bend it back, my book back, and I will trim it really close to the stitching, but I've left it in and stitched it so that it will hold on. But I will just trim it like really close. Actually, I'm going to do it this way so that I can hold this book down. And if you can't get in that close, you can use a pair of scissors. So just trim it up, and your book is done. It looks like this, or whatever paper you choose. Have fun with it.